As 2009 was coming to a close, a few good changes were actually happening in the UK. Firstly, the UK was pulling itself out of that recession it had found itself in for the last few years, and people were being able to afford the small luxuries of life again. Affordability side of things, people were being able to go back into the pubs, enjoy family meals, and of course having those beers that you used to have on a Friday or Saturday. And that was a really good thing for everyone. I mean, from a fruit machine player perspective, you can't grumble because machines are now going to be taking a little bit more money. They're going to get played more frequently. And that's exactly what you want. You want them to recover as quick as possible for you to be able to go back and play the game again. Now, what that meant really in this sort of time was a new lesson to be learned. Now, prior to this, and I mentioned this in the £25 era, about knowing your pub and knowing when to go back to it. We call it timing. So, knowing if a pub's very busy, it gets played a lot. There might be particular one person or two people that play one machine in there. And it happens to be the machine that's the really good one in there. And you know that you can give that a few days after playing it and taking Jackpot of it, that you could go back and do it all again. There might be meat raffles and all the rest of it. So at this particular time, that was a new change. Because the last few years, pubs were quiet. There was a lot of pubs shutting in the UK, and there was a lot of barrings being happened. And it was a difficult time to be in. Machines were getting robbed religiously as well. So any normal straight playing fruit machine player, if you want to call him that, found it difficult. And I was one of them. It was tough times. So adapting to this new change again, basically going back to how it was before, took a little bit of adjusting. And with that as well, new releases that were coming out. And this one in front of you, Barcrest Alien, was one of them. Now, when I first saw this, and it was in a place called Fleet, which is not far from Aldershot and Camberley, just southwest of... Sorry, that's just the background music this game does. The southwest of Guildford. It was the first time I saw one of these. And I'll be honest with you, the first time I saw it, I thought to myself, what a good looking machine. It just looked good, doesn't it? I mean, the green background, the fact that it's alien themed as well. The sound on this game is brilliant. Like, it just reflects the film, and overall it's an attractive game. So I think Barcrest did a great job with that, and that's the first thing that I thought when I played this. Probably a few weeks later, I started noticing these on the left, the Leprechaun's Gold, which was an identical clone to Alien. Now, I apologise that the picture is back to front. It was just how the picture was taken and uploaded. It's the only clear one that I could see on the internet. So I just wanted to give you that appreciation that there was a clone. So sorry that's backwards, but we will be concentrating on Alien on the right. Now, there was another one as well called Hulk and something like the Big Chief. They were failed releases. They were at like £35 jackpot, and they never ever broke through and made it to mass release. So these were the only two games that I ever saw hosting this style board and the gameplay, with the exception, of course, of Cash Attack, which was part 8, and that had this diamond board as well. I mean, Alien was different in the fact that it had a bonus wheel and a slightly few extra segments on the cash on the right. But overall, it's pretty much the same as Cash Attack in visually playing. But actually playing it is completely different. Now, this game here remained in the pubs for a long time, like years, and that was because of multiple different rechips. Now, there's been Program 1 to Program 5. Program 5 was literally an impossible program. We'll come to that in a minute, and we'll work our way through very quickly what the programs were. And when they first were in the pubs, of course, they were at Program 1. But then sooner or rather later, they chipped them, brought out Program 2, then Program 3, then Program 4, and then, of course, the dirty Program 5. And that's the reason why they stayed in the pubs so long. And I would go to say that this machine, because of that reason, they earned a lot of money, and I'd classify this as a new dawn of machine, a new style of game, one that put a tidy penny in a lot of people's pockets, because it was just a playable game, and it was what I call money on tap. Now, coinciding with this machine will be the next episode, and that is going to be my personal experience of traveling the country in 2009/2010. And I've done it in this way because a couple of the games are the predominant games that I played. We have episodes such as the Juice Machine, Casino 5-liner, Red Gaming Machines at 70, and lots more that I was playing during this long period of me traveling the country. And it's a great episode because there's a lot of good stories that go alongside with it. But we continue on this one, and where we were at this one was a place called Fleet, which I think I mentioned at the beginning of this clip, just right near Aldershot. And I was with a person which I know watches this video, so he'll know who he is, and I won't mention his name, but he I don't think he plays anymore, but back then a very good player and got information quite early, and he was the one that told me and showed me how this game, the beginning part of how it was played, and the certain ways that you can go against numbers. So let's talk about Program 1 then. Now, Program 1 was a skill program. It was an empty, and it was a very difficult one, and I actually only know one person that could ever do this. I bet you there's a lot of people in the comments below that will say that they can do it, whether they can or not. Please whack in the comments below if you could hit this. Now, what this was this feature here, 7th Heaven. Now, you could play this on the minimal stake and gamble to that quite freely, and when you collected it, the machine did not see this as like a high valued feature. Look, if you look around it, there's like 3 cash strikes, 3 win spins, 7 KOs. Like, it's equivalent of, if you go this way, to whatever this feature is. I mean, it's not that good of a feature. So it would happily let you go there, and then what you needed to do was hit the 7s in the middle as like a wild thing. So the middle reel would spin and you had to hit it. I could not do this. I'm terrible at skill, as you all know, but there was one particular person that I know that could hit it, and it was very difficult. And yeah, that was literally what that program was. Program 2 and Program 3, they were great programs in which a lot of people would just go and trap the corners for £70 cash. And then Program 4, you can trap the corners again, but very difficult or a little bit long-winded. So a lot of people just kept it easy and zigzagged their way up, gambling for out of this world and trying to trap it with a lucky 7. So either that or the corner is the method I'm going to show you. This is a Program 3, so you can easily trap it in a corner. So I will be able to talk. I've managed to reduce the volume on the game, so yeah, I'll be able to actually talk and chat as I play the game. 2 things also to talk about. The first one was Program 5, which I never saw one, but I heard through a lot of people. Program 5 was a dirty program, so much to... Sorry, that's just a background audio that the machine does during its whatever you call this demo, attract mode, that's what it's called, isn't it? Yeah, Program 5, it would go hint to the same number. So like you could be on like, it would kill you basically. So you could be like on a 12 and then it would go hint 12 or whatever, and you go lower and it would kill you. It was a bizarre little program, and you couldn't play them. I never saw any. So it's only hearsay that I saw, but I definitely 100% know they were about because I've seen videos. And yeah, a dirty program that was released by certain companies. Also, the last thing before I get into playing it was you would probably start seeing on machines this over 18 warning symbol. So the regulations and the companies were now enforced to sort of identify that under 18s were not allowed to play the game. So they stamped this this sign on the glass, and that was something that you would see in future games. Maybe a little bit of a turning point in the actual game. As you can see, very closely is 2009. So this game was bang on in the storyline. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to just pause the video, and then we'll get into actually how the game can be played and trapped. All right, I'll see you in a sec. Okay then, so how was this game played? Well, I'd say that it's broken down really into 3 main key factors. The first one being experience. You needed to be able to have played this game before in order to be able to know what you're doing. The more times you played it, the better you would become. If you was on the phone and someone was trying to talk you through it, you could do it, and I have done that. I have been on the phone to someone, but it's quite complicated. So it's so much easier if you've played them before, you've made mistakes, and you've learned from them. And like anything, the more you do something, the better you become. So I'll say that's the first factor. The second one is knowing the program. Now, like I mentioned in the first clip, there's 5 different programs. So identifying which one's which is key. Now, that was done through a few different methods. Method 1 really was the speed of the reels. So the way that they held and they span could easily identify what program you was on, or at least break it down into a less chance of what you would be playing or can be playing. Remembering at the time of an early release, you're not going to be seeing program 3s, 4s and 5s. It's going to be the early stuff, and then as time goes on and they start chipping them, you're more likely to see, program 3s and then eventually program 4s. So it depends on the time when I was playing these. These were like everywhere at the time. So me mainly were playing program 2s and 3s at the beginning, and then of course a load of program 4s as the years went on. So I'd say that's factor number 2. And the third one is when you can actually play it. Now, you can't just walk up to any machine and just expect to take jackpot out of it. It needs to be willing and have value in to do that. So you needed to be able to identify that. Similar to any machine like a Red Gaming, it needed to show you the telltales in order for you to be able to tackle it and go for that jackpot, trap that jackpot, whether it's in the corner or for out of this world. So the way that you would do that is knowing already what program it is, knowing that you already know how to play the game. You would put 5 or 6 quid in the game, put it on the minimal stake, which is 25p, and what you would want to see is a feature win of some sort. So it could be any win, normally achieved by nudges, and or bonus. So you get the 3 bonus symbols, which are the 3 eggs, same as part 8 cash attack, exactly the same real layouts. If it gave that, then you're happy. You're like, happy days. It's giving me a win, and it's got a jackpot in it. Now, I say that openly because you can hold mixed 7s, and it can drop the 3rd one in. And it can do that when the game isn't exactly 100% buzzy. Something that we did on the earlier programs to try and get quicker boards. So you could hold 7s, especially the outside reels, and it would drop in like a 3rd 7, which would obviously be a different colour for your minimal £1.20 win. So that was sort of a little bit of a red herring later on in the program. So you had to be careful with that. But if you knew the game well and you'd played quite a few of them, you can tell straight away if this has got value in. It'd be, dropping in nudges and giving wins. Once you've done that, you then needed to then see how the game was playing. So the first thing that I used to do was just push the board high-low as much as I can and just see how far it's willing to go. Now, as a sort of unwritten rule, and very similar to the second method of how you rip a jackpot out of Rainbow Riches, which I think was the last episode or the one before. I think it was the last episode actually, the Super Hold Switch one. That was a key sort of bit of programming from Barcrest, where if you managed to rattle through a few credits, you would get this bonus wheel unlocked. So that's what you would do on this game. By sort of an unwritten rule, around about the 40 quid mark is the point in which this will become unlocked. So if you was to get a board straight away, you had 2 options really. You would just put your 40 quid through it, and therefore that bonus is unlocked. And what I mean by unlocked, by the way, is that you can press this button as many times as you want, as long as you have numbers which are not guaranteed to win, i.e. a 1, a 12, or if you had a lucky 7, for example, if there was a lucky 7 there, if there's anything like that, you could not hit that gamble. Equally, if you had some steps that would step to any of them, i.e. it would step to a 1, a 12, a lucky 7 if you had one, again, you couldn't hit that bonus gamble, because 9 times out of 10 if you hit it, it would kill you. Or I'd say kill you, it'd land on this alien, and this alien is a cash or bust, so it either hits something on the feature board or it busts. So it's a risk, and you don't want that, you see. So you'll see in a minute when I play it, but essentially once you get that bonus unlocked, you're free to do what you wish, and therefore you then start accumulating steps, extra life, and other little bits and bobs. Another way, I actually it just reminded me of seeing what program this was, and that's what I talked about at the very beginning of this little clip, was if you got a super bonus. Now a super bonus can start on all sorts, depending on the program. Hint is one. I'm pretty sure, my memory's terrible, but I'm pretty sure Hint is one that it can start on, maybe program 3s if my memory serves me right. And the other one, please whack in the comments if I've got this wrong. Is it Step? But basically they will start on different things depending on their program. So that was one way of identifying what program it was. But yeah, once that bonus is unlocked, you can then start getting steps, extra life, and all those bits and bobs before then high-lowing to try and get 2 away from this £70 corner. Realistically, when you get on the board, you wanted to try and go left and hug along this left-hand side, get 2 away, and all you needed was a step. But because this bonus wheel was unlocked, it could land on Hint and go Hint 3. That's what you really wanted. And then, of course, you would then go lower than or higher than whatever number you are to a 3, and a 3 would step to that 12, as you can see there. So that's how you trap the corner. There was loads of different ways, though. You could get it off extra life, you can get it off lucky 7, you could get it off Hint and then step 3 times. There was like countless ways. And that was program 3. Program 4, you could do the same, but a little bit further away from the 70 corner. A lot of people just zigzagged up and they needed lucky 7. So depending on how the board is, I'll show you one way. In fact, I'm going to go for Out of This World, just because I fancy trying to hit it on the emulator. But the process is exactly the same, so you'll see that in a minute. Finally, there is safe numbers on this wheel. There's a set of numbers which are safe, essentially. A 4 and a 9 is one, a 10 and a 4 is another, and a 9 and a bonus 11. What that means is if you have any of those numbers, you can hit that bonus as many times as you want. Now I say that as long as you don't have a lucky 7 with some steps, that number is 100% safe. So yeah, a lot of information. Like I said, it's a very complicated game. You'll see in a minute when I put some money in exactly how it's done, and that's what I'll do now. I'll pause this and get some money in the machine. Okay then, let's get some money in. So like I said, you'd walk up to one of these, knowing that these are starting reels. This is the starting reel, so it's not been played. Whack a 5, and some people used to do 6, and put it down to 25p. Now you now wanted to then play the board, play the reels I mean, and try and get a feature board. So that is not, I thought that might have been a board, enough nudges, but you can see those nudges come in, and then all you need to do was just try and get that win. So I'm hoping that this has got a jackpot in it. If not, I'm gonna have to just play off some credits. There we go. Right, so you can see I've got plenty of nudges there, so it's giving me the option of a £1.60 win, which is green bars. I'm actually just going to take the quids and go from there. Now this could be in a position where the bonus is already unlocked. You don't know who's played this before. You don't know if it's had 100 quid in with no one collecting anything. This could be absolutely flying, or it could still be in a position where the bonus is not unlocked. So that then gives you the opportunity to either collect something, push the board, or just kill this board off and then rattle through 40 quid. But I'm going to just play this as I would normally, and just high-low the board just to see how far it'll go. I mean, it could easily be unlocked, I don't know, but for the sake of the video, I'll just show you what you would do in the pub. I'm just going to high-low it. See how far it takes us. These would happily zigzag their way up. I mean, there's also a chance that if you get a bonus and it goes to that's a shame, I need one more step there for the 1. Yeah, if you had a bonus there and it gave you lucky 7, you had every chance. That's killed me, I can tell by that spin. Right, so what I'll do for the sake of the video, I'll rattle through a quick 40 quid. It will actually be 38 because I've already span off 2, and then I'll bring you straight back when it's unlocked, and we can go forward with the actual way the game was played and manipulated. Okay, so that is 40 quid of credits being recycled or put through on a pound a go. And all we've done there is in the background put the game into a position where it's buzzy and therefore unlocked the bonus. So this bonus is unlocked. We'll drop it to 25p, and as I mentioned a minute ago, we want to try and get a win as low as possible. I mean, remembering that a pound win is the best, and any other win above it can start zigzagging up. So that's why we want this one here, because it starts on 1 KO, or sometimes, you know, can go up 1 or 2 places. This game can flash, and you cannot miss this if it flashes. I mean, the alien here flashes, the alien head, everything that's green, including the top logo, will flash. It's literally impossible not to see. And I'm sure if anyone ever saw it and seen it, yeah, they would be like, wow, yeah, that's an invincible board. Okay, so we've got a 6 and a 2, but we have a step. That step steps to a 1, so therefore we cannot hit this bonus, and we're going to have to go high on that too. Again, 10 and the 3 is the same scenario. It steps to a 1, so I cannot hit that bonus gamble. Same as this 4 and 8. So I'm going to have to go high on the 4. And again, higher than 3. And now we're at a 4 and a 9. So a 4 and a 9 is a safe square, so I can hit this bonus because it steps to nothing. It doesn't step to any guaranteed winning number. We need to be getting here. If we're going to be going for this top route, we need to get a lucky 7 at some point. Now, if I remember rightly, program 3s. If this is a program 3, I'm pretty sure it is. It's quite difficult to get out of this world without a feature taxi on an 11. I mean, that's the only way that I remember seeing getting it. Like, you can get 2 away and still get hint and all the rest of it, but it's so much easier just going for the corners. Especially when I've got 3 steps, because 3 steps. For some reason, this machine would get itself in a little rut, and it will just keep hitting change number, and it's quite annoying because the board can take ages. But what we want is try and get a real skill here now, and we'll then go round to a bonus 9-11 bonus, which is after a 10, which is just there as it went past. So we quickly hit this, and then we want a lucky 7 really. Have I got extra life? Yeah. Okay, so this is another way of trapping it. I'm a bit far away, but if this gets 1 away from out this world, obviously I'm on 11 with an extra life. I don't think it's going to go that far. And it does time out, so... Okay, I'm just going to hit it. It's no difference, because it can easily just give me feature taxi again from there. And then if I am 1 away from out of this world, it will still kill me on that 11. It'll go to a 12. Obviously that's why I got the extra life, but sometimes on certain games it doesn't. So I'm just going to quickly hit this. Yeah, on certain games, like I Live the Dream, which I know we've not talked about, I Live the Dream might well just not even kill you, because it just sort of knows it caves in. But that's a completely separate episode. Okay, so 9-11 bonus, give me the lucky 7. So I've got everything I need now to get out of this world. I just need it to do what it's planned. Right, just for a scenario basis here, a 4 and a 9. I said that was a safe number, but I've got 3 steps with a lucky 7, and 2 away is a 7. So it would have a chance of killing me at this point. So I could use my lucky 7 now and get 2 away. We don't want to do that. We want to hit that 5 and hope it survives. Okay, and now we're on a 2. I mean, I've got a selection of choices here. I can actually go on the 1 with an extra life with 2 steps. There is ways it can dick me here. But I've got a feeling the way you should play this on the program 4 is hit that 2 all day, because the numbers are that 4 lucky 7 are more prone on the left. But I'm just thinking, if I go 1 here, Right, just got to think this through here, because I can step to that bonus 11 anyway. Yeah, so I've got it here, regardless. But if I went to lower than that 10, I'm pretty sure there's another 11. Oh, no, it's not now. So, yeah, so I had it regardless there. Luckily, it went what it went to. So I could step this and go to the bonus, or I can go lower than this and it still steps. So, let's see if it survives. Oh, what am I doing? Oh. Bloody hell. I got completely and utterly thinking something odd then. My brain went all over the place. Yeah. Yeah, completely planned it to perfection, let's say. Right, yeah, so normally you would go this way to streak and then go there. But out of this world then, you needed to hit this. And I was wondering whack in the comments if anyone's ever missed this. Because I've missed this, and I'm happy to say I've missed it. But basically, it's a skill feature that these reels would turn around and go quite slow. And you needed to hit a combination of 18, because each one would accumulate a cash. So let's just take it. If I remember right, there's a 1, and then 2 after the 1. Yeah, it's a 6, 12. So, sort of when the 1 leaves the window, you hit it. So there you go, that's 18. And that should accumulate all the cash up. And jackpot. And that's more predominantly how you do a program for. But I just wanted to show you that, and I just wanted to I just wanted to try and hit it, because I've not done one in ages. Never ever 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 seen one of these repeat. It's impossible. Okay, so at this point I've rattled through 42. I've got about 42 quid a night. So I'm making £28 on this game. Okay. Now, doesn't sound the most in the world, but when you've got quite a lot of these to play, then it does add up. And equally, this could have another jackpot in. So what I'm going to quickly do is just see that. I'm not actually going to do it because the process remains the same, whether you're going for the corners or going for out of this world. It's exactly the same with what you've seen, but I just want to see out of curiosity if it's got another one in. So you would just play through another 5 quid, I'd say, around that. Some people, like I said, did 6, and you just get a feel for the board, how the reels are spinning, stuff like that. So it doesn't look at the moment like it's doing much. Avoiding nudges, not giving me many holds on the bonus, and even when you do get this bonus, if that was to do it, there are setups to avoid a win. So, but this looks pretty flat. So, if that let him spin, then obviously it's got another jackpot in. But if you were to go up to 1, just put 2 more quid in it, and it was doing this, you would have to just bite the bullet and accept your loss and walk on. And this is flat, you can see. Oh, don't think there's anything there. 1, 2, yeah. So again, yeah, game's flat, which in a way I'm quite happy with that. But you've seen how the machine's been ripped, and my record on this, by the way, is 8 jackpots, and it was on a Leprechaun's Gold, a program for Leprechaun's Gold. So these can have a lot of jackpots in. If it flashes as well, it's like a free jackpot, so it doesn't see the full amount. But I have had it before in very early days of playing Aliens, of playing one, and it flashing, but the bonus was unlocked and it flashed, and then I thought afterwards that it was completely free. So I started hitting the bonus and it started killing me. So yeah, it does see a little bit of it, but it is like a jackpot that's basically put in your pocket. One thing I did forget to mention before I end the video is on earlier programs you could hit lower than numbers. You can hit lower than 5s and lower than 4s sometimes. So what that meant was if you was on black hole or 2 away with some steps, you could hit lower than a 4 and it could survive, and equally lower than 5. So another way that you could get it without actually having to get a hint. Because the whole process of it is that you would accumulate your bits that you needed, like I say, in ingredients, And then all you needed was a hint, and it loved to go hint 3, and then step obviously to the 12 when you're 1 away. And they were great games, and they stayed around in the pubs for a long time. Fantastic little learner, and leading on from this episode, or maybe in a couple of episodes, will be my story of me traveling the UK, around a lot of places that you have lived and traveled yourself, and maybe have bumped even into a few of you along the way, and that'll all be in that particular video. So thanks for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed this one, and I'll see you in the next one. Ta-da.